Welcome to the Wrestlers Wrestling Show. I am Joe Cabray, and this is Trent 7. So, Trent, every weekend, somewhere in Europe, you're out there, most likely in the main event. And the thing I want to talk to you today about is psychology and match structure. As I said, you're most likely in the main event, big time shows. What's your thought process in putting together a main event? Because I heard you say before, like the main event has to be everything.
Yeah, it has to deliver. It has to be that. It's the last thing that people remember from the show, right? So there's so many kids that are younger, better, stronger, faster, flippier, more attractive, younger than me. So obviously, I feel like it's almost the best challenge that I could possibly ask for in my life now is having those titles and being able to kind of go out there week after week and hopefully if everyone's happy with it, put on those kind of main event matches. And yeah, it's tough. The one thing that helps the most, I think, is time. I think reps and time and being being so lucky to have had the career that I've had, being around the people that I've wrestled, being able to have wrestled the people I've wrestled or tagged with the people I've tagged with. I've learned so much from those people because they've all gone on to be those main eventers of all those big indie companies, Rev Pros, OTTs, Progresses, Banger Zones, all this kind of stuff, WXW. So obviously learning a lot from them. And I think probably the most important thing I think I've learned is pacing.
Okay.
I think the pacing of a main event match, yes, we get the luxury of the smoke and mirrors. We have the luxury of if it's a title match, you've got the guaranteed usage of, well, not guaranteed, but
you've got
guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely not guaranteed.
Yeah, but you've got that one in your locker. You've always got a title belt. There's weaponry. There's you obviously got a little bit more to play with. You've got a little bit more kind of leeway with what you can do and what you can't do. And obviously that comes from reps. That comes from building, trust with the booker, trust with the wrestler, and trust with the fans that you can be put in that position and you can deliver. And if for some reason every single wrestler who's younger and more athletic than you has done the craziest moves in the world, you can then turn to those smoke and mirrors and those kind of classic hook lines and those ref downs and the second referee and the belt shot or the bit or the bell or a real double down. And I think that's the luxury of being in the main event is you've earned your stripes and you've earned your way to that point. Now it's time for you to be able to not have to do springboard 720 cutters. You can actually use a little bit of smoke and mirrors. You can actually pull the ref a bit and use like the manipulation of the audience and that kind of side of wrestling. I think
so just years and years of just learning good psychology. Because on shows today, like everyone's kind of going out today to steal the show.
Yeah.
Depending where you are, some people kind of rein it in. But what do you do when you're watching a show and you realize, Jesus, they've done everything? What are you going into this main event thinking? Are you thinking, well, at least I have the psychology, or is it just the smoke and mirrors that you have?
I think it's a combination of all of it. You've got the psychology, you've got the smoke and mirrors, and then what I'll try and look for is just whether it be something in the venue or whether it be something unique to me or the opponent, something that I know that those people won't have thought of. Is there something I can do where I can manipulate the ring? Maybe is there something where I can do to manipulate? 9 times out of 10, someone's probably had a brawl in the crowd, but have they done this bit? But like you really have to start thinking outside the box, and that only comes with reps, right?
Yeah. And would your match structure change? Say you just dropped the title and they want to do a storyline where you're starting it all over again, but you're in like maybe the first or second match. Would you change the psychology, or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what way?
I'd definitely have a little bit more wrestling at the start. I'd definitely have a little bit more earning your stripes. Do you know what I mean? I'd want to be put through the ringer. I'd want to show that there's a very good chance that wrestler I'm wrestling against is younger than me. So I'd want to show that wrestler's younger and faster and quicker, and that I've got to kind of like really dig deep into the things that I've learned to be able to get one over and get back up to kind of like a fighting level with that wrestler.
And how do you rein somebody back in who's just wanting to go out there and is pushing to do everything? Like from the bang, they just want to go in and just do all the spots and stuff like that. Is there a part of like reining in, like especially if you have like 25 minutes to go?
Yeah, 100%. If it's main event, obviously it's a little bit more like anything goes. But one thing that I do see on a lot of shows is the repetition of spots. So sometimes it's easier to be able to Well, I think that was a little bit similar to the match before, so we'll take that out. Do you know what I mean? So you have the luxury of the fact that there's a lot more repetition than I thought there was than I think there was before. So that's probably a good little bonus for me. It's like, well, that's a little bit similar to what Lardidai did in that match. So maybe we'll take that out. What about if we did it like this? And then once again, because of the reps and because of the experience that you've probably got something that instead of, you never want people to be able to go, oh, no, I can't do that one. Well, no, we won't do that one. You want to be someone that offers an alternative. Like, I don't think we can do that one, but what if you did it like this? And what if I reverse that one and then you got me with that later on? And, you can just kind of reverse engineer it a little bit.
You've done a lot of tags back today as well. What do you prefer? Do you like being out there today doing singles wrestling, or do you still have that itch for tag wrestling?
I think tag wrestling is just the most incredible for. Like, there's the best thing about tag team wrestling is there's 5 people in the ring.
Yeah.
So there's a plethora of different. There's so many more options that you can do, and I think we've only ever seen one WrestleMania have a tag. No, 2 WrestleManias have had a tag match made. Obviously, WrestleMania 1 and WrestleMania, whatever it was, Usos versus Steen Eric or whatever it was, right? Which got 5 stars. Congratulations to them. Got one as well. But yeah, so but it just shows you just how good elite level tag team wrestling can be. You know what I mean? The fact that those matches that we had with Era were so highly rated. You think about American Alpha versus FTR, or the Revival rather. You think about like the Usos and Steen and Generic, and like all of those kind of matches. They had so much depth to them, and they were so highly regarded and so good because tag team wrestling's fucking cool. There's so many more different things we can play with. Like the hot tag in a tag match is so much better for me than a comeback in a singles match.
Yeah.
There's so many, not better, but so many different variations of it that you can do. And I just think tag wrestling is fucking cool. It never gets the credit it deserves. I feel like the world title and the tag titles are on the same level for me and always have been. I think that's how they should be portrayed in every wrestling company. You just have to obviously have the right people in the positions at the right time to obviously get that to poker through. But I feel like we should always kind of push for, 2 or 3 really, really good tag teams to be right on the top of their game.
It's kind of a weird situation in Europe. There's not many great tag teams. No. I mean, you're out there more every weekend. You're kind of around Europe. Like, do you know any kind of solid tag teams that are out there at the moment?
That are getting booked as tag teams consistently. Not really. Like, obviously, the young guns are probably like the top ones out at the moment. But you'll probably find that Luke, because Luke just does more bookings anyway than Ethan. But Luke will probably be on his own more than he'll be in the tag team.
Yeah.
Whereas realistically, they're probably the top tag team in the country. I'm trying to think of someone else. You got Diamond Eyes, Mills, Jay Joshua, and.
But these are all just occasional tag teams.
But really, yeah, they're not
necessarily. They're not as solid. They come as a package tag team. Yeah.
And like the entrance music isn't. They don't. You know what I mean? Like that. I feel like we are definitely missing it. And I think one of the realest things about it is, whether you want to talk about it or not, is the cost. Yeah. Coming out of COVID, like a wrestling match can have 2 people in it, which is 2 fees, or it can have 4. It's double the cost, it's double the expense, it's double the hotel rooms, and when we're all coming out of COVID and stuff like that, obviously we had, as promoters and as wrestlers, we had to be careful about where we threw the numbers out, how we got our bookings, how we managed our bookings, and how you managed your shows. So I think it was very tough, like, running around the country being British Strong Style, having 3 paydays and 2 hotel rooms and fucking 3 vegan meals and all that kind of shit. Those days have those days have gone. You know what I mean? We're not at that point yet, but we will be.
Yeah.
But on the way back to that, I just think, obviously the focus, I think, is just on singles wrestlers. And I think it is important, really, for people to get over.
Yeah.
They've got to go and get over. But, yeah, I'd love to see a couple of bad boy tag teams.
Yeah, I think it really kind of helped the scene. Yeah. Longevity is another thing I want to speak to you about because, as I said, you are out there. You are most likely in the main event. And you never really phone it in. You're always coming off the top and doing some crazy. What do you think is your key to longevity? Is it the vegan diet?
No. I eat eggs now as well. So I'm not full vegan anymore. I do apologise.
Exclusive.
Sorry, Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah. Diet is just diet. I think that's just down to personal choice. You either eat shit or you eat good. It doesn't really matter what kind of like style of diet that you have. You either eat shit or you eat good. And my weakness is I just eat too much. So it doesn't matter what diet I do. I would just go through periods where I just eat too much, and then there's periods where I eat a normal amount that normal people should eat. And but yeah, I think honestly the thing that pushes me the most is the age gap. Like I do feel like I got something to prove. I have got a bit of a chip on my shoulder. My mates are millionaires and I'm not. Do you know what I mean? So there is that always thing that drives me. You know, I don't hold any grudge against any of my mates who you know who have got all these mega contracts and stuff. I watch them and with absolute adoration and respect, and I obviously watch them with a degree of fucking jealousy as well because I do want to be in that position. I'm at that moment in my life where I'm not chasing that right now. There are other things in my life that are more important than me chasing and handing and spending all that time in catering and really doing that kind of groundwork. And that's no disrespect to anyone who is, but that's the way you got to do it. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of networking, and it takes a lot of hard work. So at the moment, I'm kind of just letting the wrestling speak for itself. So I feel like, as far as a body of work goes, since I left WWE in 2022, right, I feel like I'm the best wrestler I've ever been.
Yeah,
by
absolutely.
miles. I feel like every time you're going to get 100% at Trent 7, every single time I'm aiming to leave there with the best match, the best psychology, the best takeaways, like just the best little gifts, anything that I can do to make sure that like I'm using the career that I've had, I'm using the contacts that I've had, I'm using the things like even from the way that we're building shows now and with the way that we're booking stuff and helping out and helping people produce their matches a little bit and kind of getting back to that stage of just everyone coming back together and everyone coming back in to build the scene. And that's really what it feels like. Is like if my name's on the top of the card, then I have to be held to the highest standard.
Yeah.
So if you're not as good as me, then fuck you.
Absolutely. Last question before we wrap it up. Today, I think, especially post-COVID, wrestling is very saturated. There's so many people on the scene now, and everyone is striving kind of like this kind of stand out. What advice would you give to somebody who's truly dedicated? They're coming down, they're doing the training, they're hitting the gym and stuff. They're trying to make sure they have the best ring gear. What advice would you give to somebody in terms of how did they get to the next level? Like, how did they get to the Trent 7? I know you're going to say like reps and reps and reps, but is there any other kind of...
Yeah, like, so it really is the cream always rises to the top. And I know that's funny for me saying it because I had a very strange like rise to the position that I was in. It did come out of nowhere. I'm very happy that World of Sport was shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't shit, I'd have been begging them for a contract and WWE UK wouldn't have existed. So the fact that it was quite poorly managed and just didn't kind of come out the way they thought it was, bonus. And then funnily enough, I get a call and then we're booking this and then and then everything kind of rolls on. So, I can't turn around to people and go, get the reps in, kid, get on the camps, do 2,000 matches. I'm not going to tell people to do that because, I'm not going to say that's the key to doing it because I didn't do it. But I think the most important thing is the cream will always rise to the top, but find something. You've got to find something, whether it's something you like, something you wear, something that you're into. I feel like everything's just a little bit vanilla-y at the minute, right? But then, everything has been a little bit vanilla-y at the minute, but now I'm starting to see things pop, like Kuro, Ricky Sosa. Do you know what I mean? I'm seeing little glimmers of stuff like that, and I'm like, ooh. Like, little things like your entrance music.
Yeah.
Like, just little things, that's, people will bite on that, Undisputed Era's entrance music. It's just little things like that that just keep going. And the clicks are just, everything's starting to fall into place. But honestly, the only way to fail is to quit. Yeah. If you're in this now, the boom period is just, we're not even anywhere near it yet. We're still wrestling in front of sold out crowds. Yet the money might not be where it was financially for everyone because everything's just so expensive. But as far as the draw and as far as the representation for wrestling in Britain, in the UK and Ireland, it's getting there. Yeah. We're really close. We really are close to being back there. Something's going to drop. Whether it's, like obviously with the other project that I'm working on, and I'm having some of the craziest conversations ever, and it's wonderful. And then something goes in, and then someone comes up with something crazy, and then I get really excited again. I think I'm going to get 10 million quid, and then I don't get 10 million quid. But like, even that, like working in that kind of side of wrestling now, that's really opening me up to like, fuck, I've got to just be the best. I have to be the best.
Yeah.
Like I have to make sure that all these fuckers that are that good, they have to stay doing it. They have to stay doing it, because if they don't stay doing it and they fuck off, and then some money comes to actually do something cool, and they're not there, I'll be like, fucking idiot. I needed you there. I need you now. You know what I mean? Whether, you know, who knows what's going to happen? Like, honestly, it could be crazy, but something's going to happen. You can feel it. It's just bubbling.
It's on the bubble.
Something's got to happen. The gap between WWE and AEW and us is way too big financially.
Yeah.
It's way too big commercially. Something has to get in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to step up and obviously bring the quality of the shows and the quality of the matches. Kind of find that little Goldilocks zone. It's going to happen, man. So just fucking stay in it. No matter how long you've been doing it, stick to your guns, man. The good times are coming.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining us.